The key performance indicators that you need to know about for AdSense are how many people are visiting your website, how many pages are they going to visit, and how often are they going to click on your ads, and how much do you make each time they click on your ads. So with the first part of that is how many people are actually visiting your website. And the thing you have to look at is how do you get people to visit your website, because you need a certain amount of people to visit or you just won't make any money. So first way is by search. So whenever somebody searches for something on Google, does your website show up or does your article show up? More likely it's going to be an article rather than just the whole website. So they're not going to land on, for example, pedantique.com. They'll might land on this article though, contemporary electric fireplace. It depends what they're searching for. So first off, you have to optimize your website so that it will receive that kind of search traffic. So one thing that you will want to do is make sure that you have something like a WordPress plugin, like WordPress SEO. So you'll want to just search for that and install it. And this basically will allow you to, let's have a look at this in use. So this is an article. This is what it looks like when you write an article. It will give you this area down here, and you can write the title, so the 10 most incredible sunken ships on Earth, and you can write the description. This description is what shows up whenever somebody searches for something. So if somebody searched for sunken ships, this article might show up, and if this looks interesting to the person, they will click on it. So that needs to be paid attention to, because a big way that is going to be a basis for you getting traffic, and it is probably the way that starting out I would focus on the most. And your article needs to be specific enough that somebody would search for it. If this article title was fireplace, there's no way that I would be able to compete for that, because there are companies selling fireplaces. They have way more money to spend on it. So I need to compete with something like contemporary electric fireplace or stone patio ideas, find and use a signature color for interior decor. It needs to be more specific if you're going for search engine traffic. Now that is your first way. That's your first pillar. The second one is going to be social media. So for this one, I tried. This is as you can see, I never haven't worked on this since 2013, but I at one point I tried building a Facebook page, and it did build up pretty well. But the thing was, I couldn't get people to go from this website or from this Facebook page to the website, so it wasn't making any money because I couldn't get them transferred to it. Um, you can see here I did get some likes and that sort of thing, but people just weren't clicking onto the page. They were interested in seeing the images on Facebook, but they wouldn't actually go visit the site from this. So people liked this sort of thing, uh, 14 likes, and it just really didn't convert to making any money. So I dropped it. I stopped working on it. The key was with this, I wasn't offering something that they needed to go to my website for. It wasn't like there was some compelling reason for them to come, and that was the problem with it. So here's another example of a similar type. This one does drive some traffic because I have a job posted and people can go to the website to look at the job. So this was able to drive some traffic. And actually, Facebook, it still does work. It just takes a while to build up. Um, and it's a long-term process at this point. Especially the Facebook algorithm has been changing, and it's constantly decreasing the organic reach, and it probably will continue to decrease. But the key thing with this is there will always be new systems like this, and if you get on them when they come out, like I know people made money off of MySpace whenever it initially came out, before it kind of made it impossible to do much on. but there will always be new things coming out, and you just apply the same principles of finding what people want and then directing them back to your website. So another example, so this can be done for all kinds of social media. Um, this web page we had done some stuff for. Actually, most of the traffic for this site came from Facebook, and what I did was contacted. Well, actually, I had somebody else contact other Facebook pages for me, and I would pay them some money for whenever they posted my link on their Facebook page, and that didn't really work out in the end. It did make some money for a while, but long term, it just didn't work because it was too expensive to get the traffic for it. So another form of social media, Pinterest. This one is another website, trendfashiondesign.com. I haven't worked on since, again, 2013. And I also have a Facebook page. I don't think I was able to get any traffic from the Facebook page. I think that it is possible to do that. It would just take more time than I wanted to put into it, especially with design. I think that there is, like fashion, I think that there is a way that you can do it. So Pinterest, though, was interesting because Pinterest, you just pin your images up, and Pinterest, things like recipes, fashion, design, those things are basically the backbone of Pinterest. So design or fashion was pretty key. The neat thing about this is I just went and pinned a whole bunch of photos and that sort of thing when I was doing it, and then I basically stopped. And every like week I get new followers. So there's still people coming from Pinterest to my website, and it's still growing over time, even though I've done nothing for it. So this is worth it depending on what type of site you have. And I just had a little look here for this website, and it had 125 visits from that in the last 30 days. So it does bring in a little bit of traffic. The other thing is this can also be valuable for SEO, just because it's showing a little bit more of a professional site, that you have these other social media profiles and they're active and they have followers and they're growing. So it is worth it to do. Other forms, you could use things like YouTube. One issue with YouTube might be getting people to your website, and so that could be an issue. Twitter, that one you will have to put in a lot of work to build up your Twitter page. You'll have to follow a lot of people, and it's not something that I've done. I haven't worked with Twitter. I tried one time creating YouTube videos and adding them to basically a site like this, and so I would have a YouTube in the article. I didn't find that the articles that I put those videos in were any more successful, so I dropped it because I didn't see any improvement. But again, you might have to test. It could have just been the type of site that I was doing. Another way to get traffic is by paying for it. So it's not against Google's terms of service for you to buy traffic to your website, but it is risky in the sense that they don't really like the idea. From what I understand, they don't really like the idea of you buying traffic a to something that just has AdSense ads on it. If it appears that you're just trying to do arbitrage, which is you're just buying traffic from one location and you're making some money on it from the ads, there has to be basically another reason that you're doing it other than to just make money off of the ads. That's my best understanding of the way they come across. Another problem is, depending on where you buy it from, if the traffic is low quality or seems spammy or like it's robots or something like that, you can lose your account. And this can be a problem because if you're buying traffic, number one, you're going to lose all that money, and you're going to lose all the money that AdSense was paid, and you're going to lose any unpaid money in your AdSense account. So in my opinion, it's not really worth the risk. Now, you can, like I said, I paid to advertise on other people's Facebook pages for a little while. And from my understanding, there isn't anything wrong with that. Um, One thing that I wish I had have done earlier is collected emails. So you can tell here I don't have an email collection on this page, and on this page I do. This isn't a super big page, but I had added there's 55 subscribers. What this means is that every time I publish an article, an email goes to these 55 other subscribers. And the reason that it's important to do this when you start is because you might only get, one subscriber a month, and then two subscribers a month, and then three subscribers a month. It might seem like it's taking forever to do it, but I could have had a lot of subscribers by now, a couple of years later, if I had have just let this stay on. And then whenever I published another article, it would automatically go out to them, and then I have the chance basically to make a revenue from it. And that's one thing. Also, if someday you switch from AdSense and you're selling something, then you already have a list of people that probably they're more interested than most people would be in the subjects that you're writing about. So the more people that you can get to your page, the more people that are likely to click on your ads. So that's one thing that you want to do. You can also do things to increase the page views by like splitting content. So this is a top 10 list, and so there's about 200. I think that there's about 200 words per page that I have on these, and then they have to click on to the next page, and that's a new page view. So if you can get people to view more pages, that's going to be better. And yeah, you just want to keep them on your website as long as possible.